Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about one of the most important concepts in Java web application is Spring MVC. If you are ever wonder how modern web application manage user requests, separate the logic from the design and stay organized, then this session is for you. We will break down the MVC architecture and understand how Spring implemented and I will walk you through how a typical web request flows from a web from browser to the server and back. So let's get started and see why Spring MVC is such a powerful and widely used framework. Okay, for the Spring MVC. So Spring MVC is a overview. Spring MVC is a powerful framework within the Spring ecosystem that facilitates the development of web application in a clean and decoupled manner. If we can simple, the Spring MVC stands for Model Web Controller. It is a module in a Spring framework that helps you to build web application in a structure, loosely coupled and maintainable way. It's leverage the MVC designing pattern to separate concern between the presentation business logic and a navigation control. Okay, we will learn for theory part. After that, we will learn how it will work, practical way. So, introduction to the Spring MVC framework. What is the Spring MVC? So, we learn what Spring MVC is a model where control the framework for building web application. Key component of a Spring MVC including okay, so the key component, okay, the key component including a dispatcher servlet, controller, and views and model. So we will understand one by one. What is a dispatcher servlet? So a dispatcher servlet act as a front controller for the Spring MVC application. Routes incoming HTTP requests to appropriate controller method and centralize the request handling and delegation. We will learn practically what is a dispatcher servlet, what is a controller. So we will understand the theory part. Okay. The second part is the controller. So a controller class annotated with the address controller. In Java, we have one class. We will use address controller for annotation for a controller, okay, and handle the web request and return a data usually via model and wave or a address response body. Controllers जो controller is also return a data in the form of a model and wave via model and wave or address response body. Or uses the address request mapping to map a URL to a method. Okay. Also, controller uses the address request mapping to map a URL to the method. Okay. And third is the wave. So wave is responsible for rendering the UI. Okay. Wave is responsible for rendering the UI. For example, front end. The front end part will be done by the wave and can be implemented using a technology like GSP, time leap, or a free marker. Okay, the wave can be typically resolved by a wave resolver. Okay, after that model, so it will carry the data between the controller and wave, represent the domain data or object like user, product, and etc. Okay, after that, we learn the core component dispatcher servlet controller wave and model. These all are the definition. What is this? After that, we will learn the configuration and setup in Spring MVC. Okay. XML configuration. Initially, Spring MVC was configured using the XML file, where it still supported. This approach can be this approach can be verbose and less initiative compared to the modern Java configuration. Okay. XML configuration is a traditional way using the web.xml or any dispatcher servlet.xml. Define the beans, where resolvers and component scanning etc will be done by the XML configuration. Okay. And after that, with the uh, Java-based configuration, it is introducing in a Spring 3.0 using address configuration and address enable web MVC. Enable का करता है type safety and avoid XML culture. Make easier to use Spring with modern IDEs. Okay, so Java-based configuration is helpful. It is a better compared to the XML configuration. In Java-based configuration, we have a less code compared to the XML configuration. Okay, and third is the annotation-based configuration. So annotation, Spring MVC support annotation such as the address controller, request mapping, and auto wire, which streamline configuration and improve the readability by reducing the need for XML. Okay, so the address controller, it will mark a class as a web controller. Address request mapping, it will map URL to the method, and address auto wire inject dependencies automatically. Okay. After that, we have to learn how request handling in the Spring MVC. For example, how mapping the URL allow a developer to in mapping a URL means allow a developer to easily map URL to the controller method with the annotation for better code. Okay, in simple we can say map it will incoming web request. It will map your incoming web request to the controller method using annotation. For example, address request mapping. Okay, we will see what is the syntax of mapping the URL. Okay, Mm, okay. Mm, okay. Okay. This how map URL. Okay. Mapping the URLs. Okay. So how syntax for the URL is first we have to write one class public string hello. Okay. This is a class. It will return. Okay. Wait a minute. Syntax. Okay. It will return something called hello. Okay. How we can map this now? So we use one syntax called at the rate request mapping. Request mapping. And inside it we will write slash hello. Slash hello. Okay. Okay. It will the simple at the okay. This is the how we are mapping the URLs. Okay. And next part will be the handling the form submission. Okay. Provide with a simplified mechanism for handling the HTTP request from from form, including validation and error handling. Okay. Okay. In to handling the form submission, we will use something like that. Okay. For handling the form submission, we have a use at the rate. Okay. We will use something like at the rate model attribute. Attribute to bind the data to bind form data. Okay, to bind form data to Java objects. Okay, okay. There is a built-in support for there is a built-in support for form validation. Okay, the built-in support for form validation. Built-in support for form validation are okay. For the at the rate not null, not null. Okay, and at the rate size. Okay, these are all are the model. These all are the submission. Okay, handle form submission. Okay. This is the annotation file used for handling the form submission. And third is a RESTful web service. Support the create support क्या करता है the creation the support the creation of RESTful services using the annotation like added REST controller for easy API development. Okay. So we also have a annotation for RESTful web service. Okay. Okay. For RESTful web service we have a annotation like by using RESTful web services we will easily build REST API. Okay, by using RESTful web service, we can build easily REST API. Okay, we have a added control. We have a some annotation like at the rate REST controller. Okay, good. At the rate REST controller. It is a combination of at the rate controller and at the rate request at the response body. Okay, and we have a at the rate get mapping and at the rate post mapping etc. Okay, these orientation define are used to define okay will all are used to define the HTTP methods. Okay, okay, okay. We learn how request handling in Spring MVC using mapping URLs, handling the form submission and RESTful web service. Okay, after that we will learn some advantage of Spring MVC. Okay, what are the advantage of Spring MVC? The first is a loose coupling. The separation between model wave and controller foster easier matter. Okay. In easy word, loose coupling means a clear separation between model wave and controller. The model wave and controller let's have a separation like different folders for each model. Have one folder wave then net model, wave, and control have a different folder. Enhance testability and maintainability. It will easier for testing the different folder. Okay. And second is the integration. Okay, Spring MVC integrates seamlessly with Spring ecosystem tool. For example, what is the Spring ecosystem tool? Like Spring Security, it will provide a security to our application, web application. Spring Boot, Spring Data API for data handling, Hibernate, and theming. Okay, community and support. Okay, uh, okay, this community, a large active community, provide extensive resource and documentation backed by the Spring IO, huge community and wide adoption, and abundant tutorials, GitHub reports and documentation will be provided by the community and support. Okay, what is its use case and application? Okay, what is the Spring MVC use case? So first is the enterprise level application. So in Spring MVC will be used in the banking, insurance, logistic, and the healthcare web portals. Okay, use the Spring MVC for secure, scalable, transaction-based systems and microservices architecture to support stateless APIs. Okay, can be combined with Spring Boot for quick microservice development, integration with Docker, Kubernetes, and cloud services, and e-commerce and CMSs. So useful in building the product catalog, user dashboard, and an admin panel. Easy to integrate it with the dashboard, payment gateway, and third party. Okay, okay. And then we will learn. Okay, after that we will learn how we can practically how we can code a Spring MVC code. Okay, so first we have to go to the Spring initializer website. Created one small project. Okay, then we will choose Java, Maven. Okay, common example. We will make default. Don't change anything. We will create a book. We'll create one small project like bookstore. Okay. Okay. First, we will add some dependencies. We'll add only web dependencies. And then generate okay, demo 3, extract okay, we will open Spring ID. Okay, our Spring initializer will be open. First, click file and import. Go to the existing main project. Next, choose the file location. Our demo 3 will be installed there. Then select a folder and then give a name. Okay, our name template will be the bookstore. Okay, this is our okay. But we will note some. Okay, we have a file folder. Okay, this is the source main Java. These are resources, static template. Okay, first we will create folders. Okay, first we will close all this application. Okay, first we will create three folder inside Spring example or demo. Okay, not packages. Okay, first package's name will be the controller. Okay, controller, and second package will be our model, and the third package will be our yeah, service. Sorry. Okay. In controller we will write our book controller. Okay. We will create a bookstore. Right click new one Java class and the class name will be the the class name will be the book controller. Okay. Okay. Inside our first we have to create the all we will create the book controller. After that we have to create one model where our data will be saved. Inside model we have to create one class to storing our data. So the this name will be a book. The class name will be a book. And third we will create a service. Our main logic will be there. Class. This will be a book service. Okay. Okay. The first we will create inside book. We created our variable name. For example, one book. How many things one book have? The book will have one title, who write author name, and the price of book. Okay. So we will write private string title. After that, the private string author. After that, private double price. After that, we created the getter and setter method. There is a one shortcut for creating the getter and setter. Go to the refactor, generate, where is going, generate getter and setter. No, there is source. No, refactor source, generate the getter and setter, select all field, then generate. Okay, the getter and setter will be generated. Okay, after that we will go to the our book service. Okay, the book service will be have our main logic. Okay, how we will find. So first we will write one method to find our. We have a bookstore. We have to find one book inside the bookstore. So how we can find? So we will write one logic. Public book find by. We can give the name find by title. Okay, in string title. Syntax mistake. Inside we will write hard code. Okay, we will write hard code data for practicing. Okay, we don't write data. We write hard code data. Hard code data for practices. Okay, it is a comment. Okay, we can write a comment. Okay, for if okay, further we will write if write one string. If string in action. Okay, we write one comment. String in action dot equal. There is a one method to find the books in a bookshop. Okay, equals. Okay, title. Okay, I will tell you how this method works. Okay, we will get one book object. Book is equal to book is equal to new. It is a way of creating the object. Okay, so you don't have to worry about how the book will be getting. Import. Okay, we have to import book. Okay, after that we will write. We will say, will create the object for a book. We will give the book dot. We will get give the author name. Set author and the title will be the string in action. Okay, it is a book name. Sorry, it is a okay. It will be the title. String in action. It will be the title of the book. After that, we will set author. Okay, no, wait a minute. We will get. No, wait a minute. We will wrong. Okay, book dot set title. First, we will set title. The title name will be a spring in action. After that, we will set book set author name. Author name will be Abdul. We will set price. Book dot set price will be 500 rupees. After we will return return a book object of if and return null. If we don't have the value, we return null. If we don't find the book, then we return null. Okay. So okay, I will explain what is the service. Okay. But after that, we have to create the controller. We have to write a logic for a controller. Okay. So we have to save the. Okay. Inside book controller, we have to write some logic. Okay. We will create one. We have to create a book service object inside the book controller. If we want to use these services, we have to create one object. Okay. So we will write private book service slash book. We created the object. In that, we have to write one method. Public string search. We have to search for a book. Okay. So we will write one method search book. We will run at okay. We will search using at the request mapping. At the request param. Okay, there is a one method request param. In title is the method and model. Okay, we have to import the model. Okay, after that we have to create object of book inside this and book service. We have to use a book service. Already done. Find by title. And we have okay everything okay. Everything is alright. We have to import the book also. Book object. Okay. After that, we have to use model attribute. We will learn what is the model add attribute. Okay. We return book detail. Okay. Five add all attribute in the model is not acceptable for the argument string and repeat. Okay. Why? We'll see what is the add array. Okay. First, we have to create one controller inside to handle the requests. And we have to write get mapping to search for a get mapping. We map the data from the submitting classes. Okay. We have to see what add all attribute is not working. What we say, the method add all attribute collection in the type value is not applicable. Model. So we will see this error. So we have to write the one JSP inside the, we have to show our view. Okay. We will go to the static. Where we have to have something. Okay, so guys, after we will create our book controller and books, a book and books we have to create a view. Okay, so we will create the one folder where we have to inside the source main resource. After inside the web, we created a one folder called web.inf. Inside the web.inf, we created a folder view. Inside the view, we created a one file called book/detail.jsp file. Okay, we go to the file, we write book details. Go GXP file Inside we write the HTML code. Inside we write body H2. It will be the heading. Okay, we will dollar symbol. Our title. After that, our author name will be in a paragraph. Dollar symbol. Okay. And after that, our prices. With the book dot price. And we'll upload this body in HTML. Okay. Okay, we write our GST code. Okay, after that, wait a minute. Okay, all parts are done. Okay, okay. After we will write our code, I will explain how all things are working. Okay. First of all, we'll go. Okay, we will go to the user. Okay, with the book. Where is our model data? Okay, okay. I will write something comment for your example. For example, user has to see if there is any book or not. The user will send the HTTP request. How? HTTP slash book sp.com slash search. After that, where is this? Consider as a book title name will be this title is equal to Spring plus in plus section. Okay. Consider this is the our user and entry. User will pay. User will be fine. User have to know which type. Okay. In simple, user will paste this into their browser. You have to know this book available or not. Okay. After the user enter, then the center dispatcher servlet interface. Okay. The center, okay, the dispatcher work, the dispatcher servlet after the user enter this, the work of a dispatcher servlet will be this center servlet, this central control receive the request and look for the matching handler. For example, handler mapper find the request. Okay, there is a search. Okay, this will be help to find. We will write the search inside the book controller. You see, that is a search. This is the controller will find this search. It will map a request to the search. Okay. Okay. So user will enter the request. What is the request? hdbookstore.com.search. Okay. The search part will be the search part will be the get mapping. Okay. So the central controller receive the request. What the request will be, the central controller receive the request like http search bookstore.com/search and look for the matching handler. The matching handler will be find there. Get mapping search. It will be the matching and it map the request to the search method like public string search book method. It will map the request to the method like this. After that, the controller process the logic. Okay. Controller process the logic means call the book service to fetch the book from the database. Okay. The book service will be the and at the okay, the call book controller will call the book service to fetch the book from the database. Add the result to the model object. Fetch the result to the model object. Okay, model object and return a view name book detail. Okay, where is the book detail? Okay, okay. Control there is a book detail. Control add the result to the model object. It will be the model and return the book detail. After that, view result it map the view result will be it map book map detail to the web.inf.web. This will book detail will be, this book detail map to the our where is our JSP folder. Okay, book details the JSP it will map here. Okay, okay. In summary, you will enter the book data in the browser. Then dispatcher servlet receive the request. Sender. Okay. In summary, we will say okay. Step one. User enter the book title to the browser. Dispatcher servlet receive the request. After that, controller process the logic and add it to the data model. Okay, controller and okay. Wait a minute. Controller process the logic and add it to the data model. Okay. Wave resolver map the wave name to the actual file. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Wave resolver map wave to the actual file. Wave render the HTML using the moderator. In our case, it will be a JSP. JSP. And after that, response sent to the user. Okay. Response sent to the user. Okay. This will be the bug. We'll comment him. Okay. This is the step 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And we will delete. Okay. This is the step. Okay. After we will run.